We've all been there, right? On a service call that makes you just want to scream, or, on the flip side, one that leaves you feeling like you're the most important customer in the world. You know the difference between those two experiences? It almost always boils down to one simple thing: communication. So today, we're going to break down how to turn every single one of those service calls from bad to good.
Okay, so let's really get into this. Every time that phone rings, every time a customer reaches out, that is a moment of truth. And I'm not being dramatic. This isn't just another task to check off a list. It's a crossroads. It's a moment where you can either cement that customer's loyalty, maybe for life, or you can completely shatter it in just a couple of minutes. The stakes are just incredibly high.
So, let's start with the good stuff. What are the building blocks, the absolute pillars of a great customer conversation? These are the things that lay the foundation for trust and can turn a super frustrated person into your biggest fan.
It all kicks off in the first 5 seconds. Seriously, a polite and professional tone isn't just about being nice. It's a strategic move. A calm, confident opening like, "Good afternoon, this is Ramesh from the service team." It immediately lowers the customer's defenses. It's like a verbal handshake that tells them, "Hey, you've reached someone who's got this."
Now this is a superpower: active listening. And it's not just about being quiet while the other person talks. It's about engaging. By simply repeating back their problem like, "So, I understand that your product isn't powering on, is that correct?" You're doing something huge. You're validating their reason for calling. You're showing them, "I get it, I'm with you."
And here it is, the secret weapon: empathy. Look, most people are calling because they're stressed or frustrated, so acknowledging their feeling before you jump into problem-solving mode is absolutely critical. It helps to just de-escalate everything. It shows you're a real person who gets it, not just a robot following a script.
Let's just pause on this one phrase for a second. I can imagine how frustrating that must be. See, this isn't an apology, it's not admitting fault, it is a statement of connection. It completely reframes the conversation. Suddenly, you're not the company they're mad at, you're the person on their team ready to solve the problem together. It is so powerful.
Okay, once you've made that connection, clarity is everything. Your customer has no idea what your internal lingo or jargon means, and honestly, it just makes them feel confused or even a little bit dumb. So breaking things down step by step in plain English, that's a sign of respect. It saves time and gets everyone to the solution way faster.
This one is huge. It really comes down to accountability. When a customer feels like they're being bounced around, their biggest fear is that their problem is just going to fall through the cracks. Hearing someone say, "I'll personally make sure this gets followed through," man, that's like a life raft in a stormy sea. It tells them someone is finally taking charge.
And finally, remember that your words create their reality. Just think about the difference here. I can't do anything now. That's a brick wall. It's a dead end. But saying something like, "We will get this resolved soon," keeps the hope alive. It keeps the customer on your side, even if the fix isn't going to happen instantly.
Okay, so we've seen what builds a great experience. Now let's flip the coin. Let's talk about the red flags, the communication blunders that are pretty much guaranteed to tick a customer off and send them running to your competition.
Right off the bat, a rude or impatient tone, phrases like, "That's not my job." Wow, that is like pouring gasoline on a fire. It immediately makes things confrontational. And you can bet it's going to lead to an escalation and probably a very, very angry online review.
You want to know the fastest way to make someone feel completely worthless? Interrupt them. When you talk over a customer or just barrel ahead without even acknowledging what they just said, you're sending a crystal clear message. What you have to say doesn't matter to me. It is just fundamental disrespect.
And here's the empathy killer. That's the process. That line turns you from a helpful person into a bureaucratic wall. It tells the customer that your internal rules are more important than their actual problem. And this is where simple frustration can turn into real, lasting anger.
And here we have the evil twin of ownership, passing the buck. As soon as a customer hears, "I can't help you," it confirms their worst fear, that they're lost in some corporate maze. They feel like a hot potato being tossed around, with no end in sight. They feel totally abandoned.
All right, we've seen the good, we've seen the bad, so now for the most important part. Let's build a simple, actionable playbook. I'm talking 5 concrete steps you can use on your very next call to make sure it's a good one.
This is basically your cheat sheet. Number 1, start strong, clear, and with purpose. 2, Zip it and listen. Let them get it all out for at least 30 seconds. This is so important. 3. Acknowledge their feeling first before you try to fix anything. 4. Get rid of negative words. I can't becomes, here's what I can do. I don't know becomes, let me find out for you. And finally, number 5. End the call with total clarity. Tell them exactly what's happening next and when. No confusion.
You know, theory is one thing, but let's actually hear what this sounds like in the real world. We're going to put a bad script right next to a good one, and believe me, the difference is night and day.
Okay, just listen to this contrast. First, the bad way. Hello, your complaint is still in process. I don't know when the engineer will come. Call tomorrow. It's dismissive, it's lazy, and it puts all the work back on the customer. Now listen to the good script. Hello, Mr. Kumar, this is Suresh. I see your case is pending. I'll prioritize it and share the engineer's ETA before 5:30 p.m. today. I appreciate your patience. See the difference? It's professional, it takes ownership, and it gives a clear, committed plan. Let's just zoom in on this one part. This right here, this is the sound of commitment. It's specific, it's time-bound. It tells Mr. Kumar, your problem is now my priority. This is exactly how you turn a customer's anxiety into confidence.
And really, that's what it all comes down to. It's the same problem, right? The same customer, the same situation, but the approach taken in that one single conversation leads to two completely different universes. One creates an enemy, the other creates a fan for life.
And that brings us to the final question, really the only one that matters. The choice is yours in every single interaction. So, which outcome are you going to
Nama Vilash.